YouTube, it's Brad Phillips. Look at this. NX8 Yak by FMS. Second thoughts. This thing is awesome. I don't remember the last time we flew it because it was really cold and crappy. And so it's spring. And so I'm flying it right now. Here we go. Single 70. 6S. Look at that thing get off the ground. Amazing. If you guys could see how quick that got off the ground, but it was quick. Feels a little bit wonky right now. Oh man, there we go. Turned up my gains just a hair. Jeez, that's 50% throttle there for that pass. Oh, I love the noise. Holy cow, that thing is awesome. I'd forgotten how sweet this plane really is. Okay, takeoff flaps, landing flaps. This is one of the reasons why I really like this plane. Watch this, watch this. Watch how it slows down. Watch this. That is amazing. What a wide flight envelope into the power. Real slow build up so it doesn't jank out of my control. A little bit more master gain. About like 75% right now. Okay, full speed pass if we can get it pulled off in time. Jeez! Out of the throttle. 10% actually. That thing is amazing. Folks, let's shoot the moon. Here we go. Down the runway. Under the power lines. Okay, full throttle. One of the things that we were missing for so many years with these EDF jets was just the sheer power of 6S, folks. 6S gets the job done. Oh my goodness, those geese were like right there. What the heck? Let's go fly with the geese. You ready? Whoa, buddy, did you see that? That was crazy. Yes, we do have safe on this, but it's not something I use all the time. Okay, takeoff flaps, landing flaps, coming down the chute. Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention it. We're flying on 4006S Gen 2 pack, and yes, we do have telemetry because we use an AR637T, not TA, T, which is so sweet. I think we have a Vario on here too. You guys hear the Vario? You guys see that? Going on the inside, you good? Mm-hmm. Oh, so cool. One thing I can tell you about this plane is it will nip you on that elevator. You guys see when I come over on a sharp turn, it washes out the control that's going over the tail. But you can do some crazy maneuvers, which is super cool. You guys hear R2-D2? Listen, here comes R2-D2. Bull, 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 bull. Okay, I shut back off the Vario just to prove it's there. Oh, that's my timer. Okay, well, we're gonna try. I remember having pretty good luck landing this thing. I think I'm gonna try bringing it in the more conventional method here. The wind's sort of at my back, camera crew's back right now. Okay, gear coming out. I don't know that it's like a super huge issue right now. Full landing flaps here. Okay, you're good where you are. Oh yeah, baby. She sits still pretty good. Woo! Woo! I didn't want to go off the edge because we have some dirt work over there. But I can probably turn it around. If the grass were cut, I could see better. Okay, take off flaps here. We're just gonna turn around right here. Did you guys hear that? I don't know if you would have heard that, but there was a hummingbird that just went in front of me. Do you see it? Show the people.
Nope, it just flew away.
Oh, that's so crazy. We have hummingbirds here, guys. We have 22.7 volts left. Guys, this Yak by FMS is something else. I love flying it. It's a really fun plane to fly. I feel like telemetry is telling me we need to do a go around. Nice gradual roll up out of the gear. Oh man, that's so good. Practically took itself off. And we're just playing with AS3X and safe. If you want safe on the AR637TA, should be no problem. I do not have safe active right now, but it's nice to have. Okay, gear coming down. Staying in the throttle light just because there's that red's gonna pop against the trees. Watching for the base leg and then flare. Full up elevator and it's probably gonna overshoot. Woo, woo! Yep, overshot a little bit there. Okay, throttle cuts on. Evidently that's minus 5.9 feet for the telemetry. That's pretty good. That's actually about right because that's where we took off from and that's where it is. That's about 5 feet of drop. So guys, awesome plane, does great. One thing this plane doesn't need, would be cool if it had, is reverse thrust, because you could have stopped it on a dime. This thing is not a very heavy plane. It picks up a little bit weird just because of the shape of the belly. But you know what? What do we got for voltage here? What do we got for voltage here? We're still 22.7. Are you kidding me? We're 2 minutes 54 past our timer, hon. 22.7 feet, or excuse me, 22.7 volts. I wonder if people would like to see if this can be hand launched. Take off flaps, throttle cut. Okay, typically you don't hand launch a really nice plane if you're me, but I'm sure some of you guys are thinking to yourself, I'd really like to know if that'll hand launch. Your wish is my command. Gear going up. All right, here goes nothing. This is the way we're gonna do this. Camera crew is gonna come over here.
Okay.
We're gonna, way back. I'm gonna try with full throttle, and I'm basically gonna see if I can launch it like this, like kind of just push it out. I don't know if this is gonna work for the record, guys. Okay, here we go, full throttle. I don't feel like I'm gonna get enough speed that way because it's just a weird belly, okay?
Yeah.
But see, if you're flying from a grass field, you can take off and do your thing. So the other thought I had was, what if I tried doing a throw like this? Let's see if I can get the speed up. I've got some drop there to work with. That's got a lot of power, but there's gonna be a lot of spinning torque. I just wonder, what if I could do this? Whoa, the nose cone came off on me. That was not good. All right, I'm gonna line up here and I'm gonna throw it that way. I'm just gonna run out if you wanna come up here, and then I'm gonna run that way.
Okay.
Oh wait, yeah, we don't have any wind.
Yeah,
Okay,
like none.
Here we go. You ready? You ready to film this terrible disaster?
Okay.
So give me a little look. I'm gonna see if safe works on this. Safe is on. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, baby! Oh yes! Out of safe. Here we go, guys. Oh, that was fun, except for the fun part and plus the huge heart attack part. I have a perfectly good runway. What the heck was I doing that for? So guys, loving the way this plane flies, love the way it looks. Do you guys see how fast of a circuit we just did there? And it just did it no problem. Okay, take off flaps. Oh man, loving the sound. Okay, now I'm not gonna belly land this plane for you because I just don't want to get all janked up. So we're gonna go about 50% throttle, bring it down to the tree line so I can see really good. Full landing flaps. Ooh, that's gonna be fast. Out of the flaps, out of the gear. Sorry, camera crew.
That's good.
Right here we're gonna go. Okay. Full landing flaps and gear. We're gonna just like maybe slow it down this time. Going over the ego killing zone, relaxing, losing altitude, trading altitude for speed. Woo! And into the grass to slow it down. There it is. Okay, so let's see if we damaged anything. I think the nose cone popped off. Yep. Whoa. There it is. Okay, so flaps are going up fine, ailerons, elevator, rudder, everything looks pretty good. And as you can see, those are super robust landing gear. And the grass is gonna try to get trapped in there, so we'll have to pull that out. Did we damage anything? Oh, I got a little bit of grass here on that leading edge. Good protection on that. Guys, FMS did a great job on this plane. It would do grass offs if my grass wasn't 12 inches tall, I think. But just in looking at this, I don't see any damage. Let's check the gear. Guys, what a flawless plane. I mean, it is really good. I mean, I'm a flawed pilot, but this is a pretty flawless plane. I talked about it really highly when we reviewed it in the winter this year, and or last year, I guess technically what it would have been. But just really like this plane. Some of these FMSs are coming out with reflex installed now, so you may not need the AR637T, but what you can do is if you want full control of everything still, a 620 is gonna do it, with the exception of you're gonna be throttle, elevator, rudder in no particular order, ailerons, flaps, and retracts. Okay, so that's 6. You're not gonna have stabilizer on off. So you'll have to define which position you want that to be running. Unless you go to the 8230, which gives you full telemetry like what we have on this, or you could do the 630, giving up the control of AS3X, excuse me, in this case, auto leveling, stabilizer, and stabilizer off, which is another setting you can do. Or you can take the reflex out altogether and put a 631 in there, and you could throw an AV and ESC in here, then you could do thrust reverse, and you'd have full pack telemetry through your smart packs into the Air 631 plus the AV and ESC. So that's one combo that you can do. But really, that's the one thing I'm struggling with the reflex or the vector on some of the aero stuff, is that how do you get that 7th channel that you really want for controls? Because in the AR631 and 630, we have 8 real channels, and then we have 6 functional channels. So we're allowed to have AS3X turn on and off in one of the top end channels. So like on an NX8, it's a perfect pair. So I'm not sure what to tell people yet, because a bunch of these new V3 in some cases, V4 in some cases, V2 in some cases, FMS models are coming with the reflex equipped. As a result, a lot of you are not gonna wanna have to, shell out the extra dime for the AR637T for sure, but you may not even want to get the 631, and I don't blame you, because that's a lot of cash for AS3X and safe if you've already got a good, solid, reputable stabilizer installed in the plane from the factory. I understand wanting to keep it. Now keep in mind, to jump up to the telemetry equipped without AS3X, it may be kind of a net sum gain of not much. So just something to keep in mind. And the reason we bring this stuff to you here on Brian Phillips RC is because we know that everybody's trying to operate within an RC budget. And there's that budget where it's like you're divorced, and then there's the budget where you're just about to be divorced, but not quite divorced. And most people are trying to find that line so they don't end up divorced over radio controlled airplanes. I mean, there's an amplitude of other reasons that could get you into that situation. But in my case, it's just gonna be one of these things where you wanna make sure you find that line and then just keep it back a couple bucks per month, or maybe like $100 a year, depending on how many flowers you get, or other good things that your significant other wants. So in this case, love the plane. It absolutely is gorgeous. It's got one of the most beautiful canopies that we've seen on any of these jets that we fly. Definitely a singular 70mm EDF, and this thing is powerful. Guys, the power to weight ratio on this Yak 130 is second to none. And when I say second to none, I am gonna cringe because I hate it when people say best, fastest, biggest, lightest, smartest, whatever stupid-ist that they add to it. Not every plane is est, okay? This plane is very good. It is very, very good. I picked to fly this plane, and you know what it reminds me of? And I'm gonna forget the name.
Oh, which
The
one?
PC-21 or what?
The Pilatus.
The Pilatus. I love that plane. Looks a lot like it. It's kind of got a different look to it. Love the way it flies. Amazing flying plane. One thing I don't like about this that does not have is that the elevator wash is something funky and you have to be on it to not get burned by this plane. Because I don't know if there's maybe just not enough strength on the rut or on the elevators, because there are split elevators. Oh, look, I sanded it a little bit. Oops, that's no good. I can touch that up with a little red marker. Or if it's just legit washout from the wing, and if it's washout from the wing, then you know you're not really going to do much to fix that because it's a design aspect of the aircraft. But in real life, if you're in here doing high G maneuvers and basically flipping around this multi-million-dollar fighter jet with real lives involved and doing amazing tricks, or maybe shooting down some bad guy or good guy or whatever it happens to be in this case, I don't think that they didn't think of that in the real plane. So I think it's probably something to do with the foam construction. That's what I'm assuming. Camera crew thoughts?
I still think it's a really cool plane.
Can
It's
you
fun
read,
to watch.
Can you read this for me right there?
Yeah, I've been practicing. No step.
I don't know if that's what that says.
Up on my Russian.
So anyway, guys, love the plane. Don't really love hand launching it. Love the fact that we had a nice night and the weather was beautiful, but I really wish we would have had like, 17 or 18 more of them this month, because it's been pretty rough. I feel like we're finally getting to the point now where it's going to calm down for 5 minutes and then like we'll immediately have mosquitoes eating us alive.
I think that's literally the first time since we put the windsock up that it's been like basically
I came out the other day and it was limp all the way on the pole. And when you see that and then you're like, hey, it's calm. We got to fly that thing that we're doing, whatever it is. Fill in the blank. If you do radio controlled airplanes on YouTube. And then you walk back out and then it's like halfway out and you're like, what happened? It's been like 30 seconds.
Welcome to the Midwest.
Yeah, but I gotta say, beautiful. All the trees are getting their leaves. I'm getting hives because that's what happens to me when it starts getting to be beautiful out, is Mother Nature is like one last attempt to murder me. And we haven't even been playing in the trees. So guys, the Yak 130, absolutely gorgeous, amazing plane, compact size. This thing will slide right between your seats in your car, or it'll sit right on the seat, and it's not bad. The tail is tall, but it's strong. So it's one of those where you could actually set it upside down if you needed to. I usually would throw it on a bean bag, but it's flat on the bottom, so you can set it in there, no problem at all. And definitely NX8's been working great. We did resolve our rolly scrolly thing, so we're working through that, which is great. And just loving the look and feel of this. Loving the oleos, loving this. Guys, I don't know if I talked about it much in this video, but as you know, they are spring loaded. The spring is appropriately hard. That is like one of the few planes that has that function, okay? We have seen so many trailing link oleo equipped planes, and they're usually too hard or way too soft, and they just make for wonky performance. This thing almost tracks at speed doing yaw corrections, and that's uncommon. This thing should fly a lot like the F-16 when it's on the ground, but the F-16 is even more tipsy than this one. So I don't know if it's just because it's a little bit longer wheelbase, but I love the trailing link landing gear on this, and they're all aluminum, which is just absolutely gorgeous. And honestly, if I ever crash this plane, I'd probably take these off and put them on my T-28, because it's got to be similar size. But anyway, that's the other thing too, guys. If you are following this link to buy it from Horizon Hobby, while you're there, I don't know if they have it on the website yet, but they did listen to us complaining about the T-28 1.2 V2, which is one of the best planes on the market today. And it was when it was a V1, by the way. But now we have the addition of the Avian ESC, which gives us thrust reverse, which is awesome. And guess what now? You can buy just the nose gear bogey. You can buy just the bogey set, and it's significantly cheaper than it was. So Horizon listened. Thank you, Horizon, for that. Being the squeaky wheel evidently does pay off because they listened. Now, if you haven't been able to find the part number, it might be because they haven't actually put it on the site yet, but I do have links to it. So let me know if you need it in the comments below and I will help you out. But also, for the record, if you ever want to find an item and you're like, hey, Brian, could you tell me what this part number is? Or could you send me a link for this or send me a link for that? Because we want to help support your channel with the small contributions that you get from Horizon Hobby when we buy it from your link, which is the way it works. They send us commissions based on the sales from people following links. That's the way it works. We never try to hide behind that. We want to be full disclosure. We love these airplanes. We're going to bring you airplanes regardless of how that system is set up, how much commission or when it comes from who. We don't care. We just want you guys to be happy. We want our audience to grow. We want to grow this hobby. We want you guys flying airplanes like with your hair on fire, enjoying the experience, loving every second of it. And we're going to try to help get you from where you are now, which is probably on your chair in front of a computer or sitting on the throne looking at your phone or whatever it happens to be. We want to get you from that position into the flying field, flying like crazy, enjoying it. And so however we get that done, we don't care how we get that done. So again, while you're supporting us, you're looking for the links, you can't find them, just look in the video description below. The very first couple are gonna be for BrianPhillipsRC.com, which is our website Camera Crew's been working on, Patreon and PayPal. Patreon would be monthly support, PayPal would be one-time support. And then we go into the master links. If you can't find something, if you ask me a question, it's taking me too long to get back to you, just jump onto the master link, do a search, you're golden. Whatever you buy, we'll get commissioned on. So it's fine, okay? Also, if there's a new release and maybe we don't have our video out yet, so you're having trouble finding it on the website yet, then you can do the exact same thing. We get that question periodically, so I wanted to answer it here in this forum. Second thoughts videos, third thoughts, return thoughts, whatever it is that's not the unbox build radio setup, which is like our first video. We're trying to bring you guys stuff that's in stock only because we know it's almost like it's punishingly bad when you've got RC dollars to spend and you go on and the one you wanted is sold out or it's on back order. That just sucks. And we wish we could fix that problem, but we didn't make coronavirus. So anyway, getting back to the point, this plane is awesome. We love it. FMS Yak 130. Very good, premium plane, easy setup, easy build. What do we have, like 6 screws?
Yeah, it was really
super easy.
Yep.
And beautiful plane. Flaws: elevator wonkiness in high G maneuvers. Singular EDFs are beautiful for performance, but maybe some people complain that I want 2 if there was 2 in the real plane. You're not going to get that on this plane. They're just too close together. I don't think they're going to do that. You would have to have a really big yak before you'd be able to do 2 EDFs. So I'm going to call that a flaw for some of you guys. Might think it's a flaw. Other flaws are the fact that if you get the reflex equipped one, you may actually want to go with the AR-631 still, and therefore there's a couple wasted dollars, but you can take that, plop it in another plane. It'll work just fine. Also, you can reprogram those things. I've never done it myself, but you can, from what I understand. So that might be a flaw, but otherwise I really like this plane. It flies slow, it flies fast, it's got huge huge flaps, wonderful retracts. It'll do grass hops all day as long as your grass isn't 12 inches tall. Although, to be honest with you, I handle a grass fine on landing. It just would have marred it up really bad if you were trying to actually put down in the grass. Hand launch is awkward. That would be a flaw. It runs on 6S. That could be a flaw if you only have 4S. If you don't have 6S and you're thinking about making the switch, if you're looking at EDFs, if you're looking at jets, there are a select few jets that are going to fly on 4S and be fun. Okay. Now there are a few, to be totally transparent, there are a few that are good, but most suck, or they're very small, like 50 millimeter EDFs on 4S could be crazy fast. But when you fly EDF, you want fast, you want precise, you want controllable, you want, hey, I'm hand launching it, so I need enough throttle to get out of the hole quick. Most EDFs on 4S are not going to do that for you. They're either going to be designed as a trainer and slow flying, kind of like lame experience. I say that in air quotes because I love flying trainers, but I know what you want. You want something like this, where you're in it and you can just unlimited vertical or near unlimited vertical. That's what we all want on EDF jets. So 6S is where you're going to need to get. And that means you're going to have to invest in packs. So what do? We try to tell you the best packs to buy. 6S, 4000, 30C pack is gonna do okay. Remember, 4000s have been my hardest smart packs. I've killed the most of them. So get as high a C as you can afford. If you can get the 100C, get the 100C. Keep in mind the weight difference is very minuscule. Size difference is minuscule. If you can afford the 100C, that's the sticking point for most people, is that it costs a lot more. 50C is a good compromise, but I have still also killed 50C packs. Okay, twin EDFs are the culprit. Twin 64mm EDFs chew through packs like crazy. So just be aware of it. Secondly, if you want to get into other 6S flight platforms, you're going to be looking at 5000, 6S, 30C seems to be like a really median point. You're going to get into all sorts of planes with that size class, okay? It's like the 2200 3S of the jet world, okay? That being said, if you have questions, leave it in the comments below. We'll do our very best to get to you as quick as we can, but it is spring. We're filming a lot. We're doing a lot of construction-y type of things in our property to get things ready for the summer. And we're gonna be doing hay here pretty quick in a couple of weeks. So we're just gonna be kind of swamped. And if the weather keeps being the way it is, we're gonna have a little bit of ground vehicles to bring you guys. So we hope that you enjoy that and you don't tear us a new one, because we love aircraft. And that's primarily what we do here, but we love RC in general too. So we're gonna do a little bit of that here and there, and some e-bikes and things like that. And then obviously you're gonna get some updates on the PPG experience and where we're going with that. So we really appreciate you guys. Stay tuned, so much more to come here on Brian Phillips RC. Also check out www.brianphillipsrc.com. Really hard to remember, it's exactly the same name as YouTube. The only difference is you don't have a YouTube in front. And there is a, oh, is that a bat?
Probably.
No, I don't think if it's a bat, we gotta show the bat. If it's a bat. I think it might have been a barn swallow. We have bats that come out here, guys. It's really cool. Bats are good. They'll eat like their own body weight in bug, like every night, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So I want like a bat that's like this big.
Yeah.
So you can eat all of them. So that's it, guys. That's all you get. Stay tuned. So much more coming from Brian Phillips RC. Thanks for staying. Oh, and by the way, I haven't asked you guys. Don't forget to like the videos, subscribe, and come back for more.